So on this channel, I'm talking so much about making atmospheric drum and bass and intelligent jungle. So actually, let's just talk about this music. And here are my top 10 atmospheric drum and bass tracks in 2023. Those songs are a subjective list done by mine, and there's no particular order or they are not belonging to any era. It's just in general, I want to give you a nice overview about my top 10 tracks that I enjoy the most. Anyhow, I have to provide you a sequence of tracks, but don't take these 10 as granted. Means like number 1 is as good as number 10 and as good as number 7 and so on. You get the idea. Nevertheless, let's start with number 10. Dave Wallace, Phuture, Reality Part 1. So on my computer, since the days of Napster, I had this intelligent drum and bass DJ set, and that has given me roughly an idea how this sound likes. This track is the second track in the mix and I'm still enjoying it. I'm regularly listening to it in my car. For me, this track really is how atmospheric drum and bass should sound like. It's really the particular sound. It's the intelligent drums and it's the drop around 50 seconds that makes this track so huge and unique, where you really get this feeling and a really nice arrangement. Also, I think it's quite unique. If you listen to this sax arpeggio sound, you have the atmospheric pads, and of course, finally, you have a proper 808 bass line in there. So check out this track. Number 9, Muffler, I Go. So I got this vinyl in Berlin. I bought this in Hardwax in the year 2006 when I was visiting my cousin. She's native Berlin, by the way, not like these other Schwaben guys who are moving there. I went there and bought some vinyl and I'm really happy about this white label. Another funny story is I once dropped a sound sample of this on Instagram and I got a like by Muffler, which I really appreciate, so thanks for that. What's so special about this track? I think it's quite interesting era around this 2005-2006, which in my opinion was the peak of liquid drum and bass, but this one was making the sound more serious and really having it more straight and undergroundish, because there are not many chord changes. It's not really so happy and it's really the mood and everything I like. Plus Muffler was using the really drums that go forward and you still can listen to that one. So check this out and get a proper copy for yourself. Number 8, Impact, Everything I Left Behind. You might not find this in any other top trend tracks or whatever drum and bass list, but I think this one is really quite unique and I really enjoy it still until today. I first was listening to this in a podcast from Renton Movement around 2010. I immediately liked it. I really immediately liked the sequence of the sounds. The arrangement is quite simple, but really good. And if you're interested in the drums, Impact was using the KJ Sawker sample library that was released on Hospital Records as well. And the kit is called Brown Vintage Kit. So if you're interested in the drums, you can check this out there too. Number 7, Fallen Angels. Hello Lover, you have to check out the Desired State Bad Boy Snare mix. Around 2006, a friend of mine, Tom, and we got really into drum and bass and we were checking out everything we could find. So back then we were ripping songs from digitally imported of the drum and bass channel and we're listening to those ones. One of the rips was this one and I still listen to this today. I got a proper copy for better sound quality, but still this one really is straight proper jungle. I think a little bit too hard for maybe some of you guys, but still it's great. And it's using these old school vibes and representing this kind of 90s underground jungle stuff with some sounds that are just awesome. So just check out the tracks, it's really cool. Number 6, Subject 13, Phuture Subject 13 Remix. Back then I was in Austria in high school and being on my way to my A-levels and I met a new friend, Toby. He realized on my chemistry book I wrote big fat letters drum and bass and he like, hey, you enjoyed drum and bass? And I like, yes, you are? Okay, let's be friends. Toby, but I never told you this was also a kind of counter reaction because our chemistry teacher back then was saying in front of everybody that she doesn't like the tracks of Apollo 440 and I like, this makes no sense if you don't like Apollo 440. So as a result, it made sense to write drum and bass on my chemistry book, right? Nevertheless, then I still remember how I showed Toby this track in my car. Still, we enjoyed it so much and I showed him this kind of intelligent drum and bass and he knew it from FM4 radio station in Austria. It's the timeless and classic acoustic bass line that I enjoy and also the samples that are in there and just this really kind of futuristic Rhodes pad, I think it is, with phaser and chorus on it. But just check out the track and give it a listen to, and you will enjoy it immediately, I believe. Number 5, obviously PFM and Peshay, this unreleased remix in the Marc Renton remix. So it was in 2018, I just discovered this on YouTube, and I think also you can see the comments in there. Everyone enjoyed it so far. No one has the clue about why it was not released. And so this has given me the hook to actually reproduce this track on my own. And because I thought I know where all the sounds were coming from, this track is one of my most viewed videos on YouTube, and also the making of has quite high clicks, at least for my channel. Also by far, it's the most listened track on my SoundCloud, so check out my SoundCloud and you will find it there as well. Another interesting anecdote is that actually PFN dropped me a message and asked for a copy of my remake, and yeah, unfortunately, sadly, until today we haven't released this one yet. I really would love to see this released properly, but so far you know where you can listen to this track, so check it out. Number 4, Unreal Tournament, Michiel van der Bros, Foregone Destruction. I hope the name I pronounced correctly. Sorry for my Dutch. I think it's Dutch. Nevertheless, Facing Walls, I just see the picture still, and one of the most famous computer games in the 2000s was giving a push to atmospheric drum and bass, I think, with this track, and many people know this kind of genre we like so much just because of this computer game, so therefore it has to be in this top 10 lists. And all I can say to this is just Facing Walls and Monster Kill. Na, das schneiden wir raus. Number 3, Trisector, Morning Rain. I still remember when I heard this the first time in one of the early Hospital Records podcast, and until today I'm listening to it regularly. The samples are quite unique, and it has this kind of feeling. And Morning Rain, I mean, I link this one with Earl Grey tea and nice things and just proper atmosphere. Also, I think it's a quite nice blueprint of an atmospheric jungle track, which is not depending heavily on the usual samples like an Amel break and everything. Number 2, Nfract, Love and Fragments. And this one is one of my recent discoveries, that I got into breakcore. On the one hand, breakcore very often is too much core and too much break and not having a lot of atmosphere in there. But on the other hand, Nfract is really doing a nice job in having some spherical landscapes, things are evolving, stuff is going on, and this whole track is just amazing. Plus he's using these fat breakcore drums that are the next evolution of jungle drums, if one could say so, but whatever, just check it out, give it a listen, and also enjoy it like I do. Now, number 1, and this is really one of the best tracks ever, Higher Sense, Cold Fresh Air. So I don't know about you, but now I'm 36 years old and I'm just too young for this crazy stuff. What do I mean by this? I mean, the track itself came out in 1994, I can read on Moving Shadow. And I discovered this because, again, my friend Tom, he came around back then with his PlayStation Portable, and there was this game, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. The channel was called MSX98. And so this was an homage to the old jungle tracks of Moving Shadow and so on. And yeah, we were just partying so hard, and I was ripping the radio channel from the game, and so we could listen to it in the car and everywhere. And one of these tracks is Higher Sense, Cold Fresh Air, next to a lot of other great tracks like from Omni Trio, but this one is really representing it quite nicely, I think. So yeah, I mean, I discovered it quite late, 10 years, almost, yeah, over 10 years after it came out, but still, it's a classic. It's just, you should know it, you should listen to it. I think my top 10 has given you a quite nice overview of what I'm listening to, what I really enjoy. And let me know what kind of tracks you would have expected in the top 10 lists and what you think that definitely should go in here. Let's discuss them in the channel's comment section. I would love to get this started as a discussion. So talk to you. Bye.